When you see someone showing up on morning TV, launching a book, and leading massive events, you might assume that it has always been smooth. But what if it actually started with school trouble, a stolen geography book, and discovering he had dyslexia? In this episode, I sit down with Brendon, founder of Buzz Concepts, a high-energy experimental events company that's now celebrating 20 years in business, long before Instagram, TikTok, or even real social media marketing existed. And in our conversation, we talk about how he discovered he was dyslexic and how that completely changed the way he learned and built his business. Why word of mouth built his company, but content is now essential for him to attract the right kind of client. We learn about his strong opinions on behind the scenes content and why showing the human side of production matters more than a polished highlight reel. And finally, we learn about how he thinks about content as a way to pre-sell the feeling of an experience before a client ever meets him. This is a conversation about growth, storytelling, and using content to attract alignment, not just get attention. Enjoy the conversation. Let's make useful content.
From the start, it was about a group of friends. I hired all my friends and we used to listen to me. It was so cool. We would work and then we would go on Lime after. And I would pay them one time. So imagine my friends coming to Lime. We consider you and your friends Lime on a weekend. Lime. And then one of your other friends say, hey, if we go to Lime this weekend, you will get paid. I get paid? How much I get paid? You get a cool $200. Like, let's go. And then I realized I had to start buffing my friends. You can't reach late. You're wearing the wrong uniform. What is that? Why are you telling that person that? And I started to lose friends.
Yeah.
And I like working with everybody. I have no issues with nobody in the industry, and that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
I know everybody is everybody cool, and the closer that we are, is the better for all of us.
First thing I have to acknowledge is I know you, Brendon, from school, right? And it's interesting to see the journey of Brendon from school, who used to give a little trouble,
All the time. Little trouble.
Yeah,
I used to get real trouble. I was no good boy.
Used to get a little trouble. And it seems that over the years, we see each other in Tobago. And, you added me to the Belmont Boys group, which was overwhelming, by the way.
Right, yeah.
It was like everybody talking about everything all the time.
Yeah, but we reminiscing all the time. It was real cool, yeah.
Lots of reminiscing. But one thing is for sure, recently I've noticed that you've been on a bit of it's almost like a publicity tour. You've been going around.
Boy, I think I've been blessed because I think people have things to say and have things to do.
Yeah.
And it has allowed me to reach and communicate with a lot of different people. So I just continue in the trend.
Yeah. So it's like I've seen you on the morning shows.
Right. Promoting my book.
Promoting a book. I've seen you talking about dyslexia.
Right, yeah.
Which I didn't know.
I had.
You had, by the way.
Right, yeah. So yeah,
Right.
I am a member of the Dyslexia Association. I'm a member of the board.
Right.
Of the Dyslexia Association. So I have to advocate for it.
Right. And that's a big thing because I have a couple of friends who have dyslexia and I didn't realize how much of the people who have
how prevalent it is.
Prevalent, yeah.
Yeah, they say one in 10 and sometimes they say 1 in 5 persons have dyslexia. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been on that marketing. And then I just have things.
Yeah.
People, I'm a communicator, so people will reach out to me and say, help me promote this or promote that, and I'll help them.
Yeah. You ever found out who took your geography book?
No, I didn't know somebody, but I had to thank them though. I was in form, I think it was Form 3.
Yeah.
Form 3, yeah, somebody steal it, so I don't know whoever that was, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel it's fun rose though, but I can't.
Feel it's fun. I'm not trouble with that. Fun rose give me trouble.
I feel it's fun rose, but I can't. He would beg to differ.
He would beg to differ. But that moment of that was like serendipity, right? Because at the time, and this for context for people who don't know, that was around the time you discovered that you had dyslexia. So what happened is that the story is, tell me if I get it right. Somebody took the book, he had to write over all the notes, right? And because he had to write over all the notes, he realized, oh, this is making sense now. No, I'm writing it out.
I started to learn. I realized that was a different type of learner.
Yeah.
And I had to write a lot of things. And again, everybody different. Some people have to write it over. And by writing it over, I basically started to interpret the knowledge.
Yeah.
And was able to regurgitate it at a different time. So
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot through that process of rewriting all my notes.
Right. Has that like been a challenge in building on the business, having dyslexia at all?
Yeah, it has been a big challenge because before AI and before Grammarly and all these different things, within that period of me correcting my own work or relying on people to do the spell checker or the checker, that was a challenge for me because it was a holdback. I mean, that if I had to send a proposal, I needed someone to verify and check it before I send it. And in a few instances that I did send it, errors.
Yeah.
And even if I would read, sometimes I would write something and read it backwards, like literally would just, and then read it forward and check, and I would still have errors in it.
Yeah.
So it was very hard in the formative years to get more documentation and more language properly.
Yeah.
You know, it was a challenge.
Yeah. So because that was the case and you had to do that, you had to kind of basically find a way through this particular...
Navigate with people and be able to be outright communicating. You know, some people get to mask it in different ways. Now you can mask it more than ever because computers are there. But in the past, when you had to do up a slideshow in 15, 20 minutes, and you know you write this, and you press send, and you spell unicomma wrong, and you press send, and you say, oh, you spell somebody's last name wrong, and you press send, you know you're not getting that job. Right. And it have nothing to do with the quality of the work. It's just because the quality of the presentation. Yeah. So that created a gap. And now that we have a lot of the tools that present that I done better. I was getting better anyways. So now I'm ready for anything.
You're ready for anything.
Bring it.
In fact, I think, next year is 20 years? The business has been around?
We're going to be 20 years on the 20th of May.
20th of May next
And
year.
20th of May is the International B-Day. It's a big celebration for us. I right now I'm still in the planning mode because we have a few signature events that happen. Even our first carnival event, probably 2 carnival events that happen in this year.
Yeah.
And within the whole mindset of growing the business as more, not only corporate, but we actually going into promotions now.
Yeah.
It is a very exciting space to be in. So on the 20th, we might actually throw a little party.
Okay.
Instead of it being an award ceremony and a gala, we might throw something which
do what you're good at, right?
We can make money.
Yeah. Do what you're good at.
Yeah.
So I would say that. So because your business is going to be 20 years old, it means that the business actually predates a lot of social media. It definitely predates TikTok. It predates Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook was out. YouTube was out, but many people weren't using it in
But the thing was just Gmail, boy. Gmail was the only thing.
Gmail was the only thing.
Yeah, in a sense of communicating.
So which means that your business had to have grown by word of mouth.
All the time.
Right?
All the time. Every single thing we do, at that time, it was based on just reputation and who you would call. And we were good enough. And I think one of the biggest leaps that we made was like in 2011 or 2012, where we did RBC Sports Day. Yeah. We were competing for the first time against the big guns. I mean, the big big companies in the country that were producing. And it was a turning point because the big companies would normally hire us and subcontract us.
Yes.
And so this time was the first time we were competing against them. And we did a real good proposal. We did a real good event, and RBC happened in UE Spec. And for us, it was like 50, 60 tents that were down on the day. We were catering for 4,000 people. It was a leap of faith, and we did it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the growth spurt that we needed and the confidence we needed at that time to understand that, we're not in the small league anymore with regards to that type of event.
Yeah.
And that's plenty years from now ago. So,
well, since you were able to get most of the initial business with word of mouth and with referrals, why even bother to go into content then?
Well, that's a nice question. The thing is, when you understand the value that you have to provide in the market, you have to put in perspective which clients you want. Because somebody could easily see this podcast that we're doing now and say, well, let me call Buzz and don't have the money to do one of our smaller events, which we call Hop on the Bus. That might be $1,000 a person, where we give you a full inclusive experience where you had to do this, that, you get t-shirt with your name on it, cup with your name,
all that is money being spent for your experience. And some people might feel that it's easy to reach to a company. And I remember a lady asked me after seeing the ad, she said, so how much for one of those to go on that bus thing? And I told her the price. She said, so expensive, because she's not my ideal client.
Right.
You follow? So we have to advertise and market and create content to really tap into our ideal clients, because we have turnkey proposals and executions for the type of client that want that type of service.
Yeah.
You know, and so I want to be relevant so that, and again, because we go in regional as well,
Yeah.
it means that I have to sell, I not only sell into the local market, I sell into people up the islands as well as in Guyana with the team across there.
Yeah. So we know that, Buzz is known for doing these high intensity, fast turnaround,
Right?
very engaging
Activities.
and events and so on. So because that is the case, how are you using your content to convince or to make sure people understand how that feels even before they meet with you?
That's a real good question. What we realize is that we have to also ensure that our content is palatable to both like the young people as well as older people. And with all the editing, similar things that I'm sure that you guys do, new editing styles, making sure that things pop up and move, and having those types of executions where, like for example, doing drone shots and ensuring that the drone shot is part of the final event video. All those things are really relevant to show people the whole gamut of what is happening. Also, it's important to show people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So like some of the team members going for lunch with somebody, or saying how we would set up and the pre-event setup. It's exciting because people want to be part of that journey as well, so that they understand that, we are human. And like, just like when you do call last minute and they say, I want an event tomorrow, I had to call out a man who had to leave his daughter home. And so all of those things are the stories behind the stories of what production is. And again, while we are superheroes in what we do, there's this human side of what we have to do. So I think it's important that we tell the whole story of production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talk about behind the scenes. What type of do you have someone come along with you to get those behind the scenes, or is some
we've done it for a few executions. Of course, if we could get it more, we would do more. The behind the scenes is such a special thing in the sense of, I feel that we have enough characters in this company to have a proper sitcom. Yeah. I feel that the stories that they would tell, the expressions that they would get, from Rodriguez to Jesse Smith to listen to me, to Dwight. Everybody have a story, and so because we have to work so intimately with people, you get to know people inside out. And when you get to know people, it's almost like, I would have to have that level of intelligence to know when to push a button, who I could tell what, how to move with this one, and how to treat with people. And it's exciting. But I love the characters. I call them characters, but these are my employees. I love them.
Yeah. It sounds like you would love to do a series about that. Like, it's almost, but I know that you have been doing some serialized content.
Right.
For example, the Game Changers.
Yeah, we did Game Changers. There's a three-part series with Game Changers, with interacting with people and trying to see how we could incorporate our games into social media. But again, those things are just like additions to what we do, just to show people that there's a different side of what we are. And again, I like to show people my aggressive nature, because people feel like, it's fun, but at the end of the day, I'm very serious about winning everything I do. Even not for losing, I'm very serious about winning.
I know that. You lost the hula hoop. You lost the hula hoop, but you win the arm wrestling, right?
Yeah. No, I lose the wrestling too.
No, you didn't win it. You win the arm wrestling?
No, I lose that. The only thing I win was the cornhole.
The cornhole?
Yeah. I lose the wrestling against super hyper strong self.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good engaging with people. And just adding a different type of series. What we could do, what we intend to do, is once we work with certain types of businesses, we could take that whole, I could show them that series and say, hey, we could take this with your product and put it on the streets.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's what people want. So a lot of times when we do this, we do it with the mindset of turning this around and turn it into corporate.
Yeah.
Rain boy.
Yeah. We're enjoying the lovely rain.
Yeah.
It's in Sun to rain so far.
Yeah. Welcome to the hills. Welcome to the hills.
It turned from sun to rain so fast. So Game Changers is one thing. You used to do all of this skipping content, which I'm not seeing much of anymore.
Right.
I don't know why.
Nah, that is not, I don't put that on the buzz. I put that on my own personal.
Oh, so that is what buzz? Well, there's Buzz Concepts, and then there's
Big B, yeah.
Big B.
Yeah.
But you haven't put on one in a long time.
I put one this morning.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't skip, pun intended, the gym.
Yeah,
I don't skip the gym.
You don't skip the gym.
Yeah.
All right. So you probably have 1,000 ideas a day,
All the time.
right? And I know one of the quotes that you've made in the past that people with ideas will really will.
Yes, they will.
You said that.
Yeah,
in the past.
I believe that.
So how do you, when it comes to like content or maybe even business things, how do you decide on what to put energy into and what to shelf?
Well, what we try to do is understand, and right now we're trying to map our customers' journey from the first time they interact with us to the first time we do an event for them and what happens after that.
Yeah.
We're really getting deep in the science behind working with somebody and looking at the evolution of our client over the years. And so while somebody may engage with us, let's say Answer Bank, engage with us to do their family day.
Yeah.
That's a one-off event. The first time, we now have to watch that journey because they may do a Christmas function. They may do a carnival function. They may do a walkathon. They may do something along those lines. And we map that journey for them and be able to provide services throughout that experience, throughout the year. Now, it might be that they might say, you know what, we'll do the family day in 2024 and 2026.
Yeah.
In 2025, what you're doing, we'll be there for you to support you as well.
Yeah.
So it's along those lines that we support our clients. And that's the energy that we've been channeling now in making sure that we have packages that can cut and paste and provide. Because again, most of our clients have short time frames for execution.
Yeah.
And because they have that, it's almost like a wedding planner.
Yeah.
A wedding planner has planned 40, 50 weddings. She know what has to happen here. She know where the food going to be. You know when the entertainment going to come. Again, it might have some tweaks and changes. It's the same with us on corporate events.
Yeah.
We've done it 100 times already. So it's just now to tweak with regards to your specifics and execute accordingly.
So what about those like big ideas, like the new big ones that you get that you're wondering, hey, this is too risky?
That's a nice question. What happening now? After I did the book, I realized that I could do anything. I mean, it might sound very boastful, but I think when you say you want to do a big challenge and you have like a 5-year, 6-year plan, and you actually finish it, you unlock a new version of yourself that really is not like you're not playing anymore. It's like, okay, if I could do this, I could do anything. And again, that's how I feel. So now when I have big ideas, they don't become ideas anymore. It's execution. So right now I'm growing Hive, the community. We have 100 followers 100 members on an Instagram group. And we have been doing pop-up parties. So I did a pop-up events. Let me put it that way. So we did a pop-up event. We did the savannah. We went and do yoga, eat yogurt, fly kites, do a few things like that. Real nice morning opposite Curacy. That was the first event.
Yeah.
It was about 20 people.
Right.
Everybody was good. That was in June. Then we say, you know what, let's expand it. Let's do something else. We did a cruise in September. We had about 70, 80 people on the cruise. Real nice experience. Then I say, you know what, let's do a beach party. People say, okay, no problem. We had 110 people on the beach party. And then we just did a backyard jam right here.
Yeah.
Changing the dynamics of and using our assets, because that's what we have. We have trussing, we have lights, we have cocktail tables, we have decor, we have screens. So we use our assets to enhance the experience of these people. And our first charity drive is now. Yeah. So it's really with regards to using this group of people to grow our community and do what we want to do.
Yeah.
We were like at one point in time, I was reaching out to Habitat for Humanity to be part of their project.
Yeah.
And I realized, you know what? I'm not waiting on anybody. I'm not knocking on any doors. I tried calling, didn't get a number. And then I realized, I said, no. This is a sign. Anytime you're not getting through to somebody, create your own table. Right. And that's my plan. So we're going to paint our members' houses. We're going to paint a mural. We're doing a dog food chow drive that we're going to do in January, February. And right now, we're doing the babies drive. We're collecting stuff for home in Belmont.
All right.
Collecting stuff for our home in Belmont and going to be giving them stuff, and we're reaching out to people that we partner with. So like the Arawaks and the Extra Foods and that kind of stuff. We're going to work with all of them, all our past clients, and bring it home, things for them for Christmas. So and celebrating that on the 5th of December, which is World Volunteerism Day. So we tie in the project with regards to a significant day. So it's not just talk, it's thought.
Yeah.
I know? And I think that is the energy I have. So that community is the energy that I want to produce now, just changing the world with a group of good people.
Okay, I was about to ask you, what was the goal of all this? Is it that you...
The goal is very simple. I think people don't realize that by fixing you initially, you could expand and fix everybody. And a lot, like some people may call, let's say for example, someone call and say, hey, we want a sponsorship. And I could say, that's not the direction that I want to go with regards to that sponsorship. But this is the direction I want to narrow down who I get to help. And also work with, because people like to enjoy themselves. But a lot of times adults, like big people, don't have anything to do. There's no pure fun thing to do outside of a fete where people could go and enjoy. So I just making sure that adults have something to do. That is my role. I is that guide. You know? So I'm taking on that responsibility and doing it with positive things in mind as well.
If you had to think about where you would want these initiatives to be in like a couple of years' time, do you think?
Well, we're forming the hive in Guyana right now with the Guyanese team. And so again, as we move the company to different regions, we'll expand it there as well and do the same type of events. The same, and again, when we do an event, it becomes a template. So the beach event, now a template, we could do it anytime again. And so I could do it because I've done it with my team. I could do it for corporate. You understand? So it have a nice practice state because I can now show corporate if they want a beach event. Oh, this is something that I have. So it now becomes a package because we're turning it into a package that they can now press button and get. And the team that actually participated, which is my team, they are now is an easier sell because they know what it is to sell because they've lived the experience. You understand? So it's like they call it farm events where you get a familiarization before so that they get a little taste of it. My team get the full immersion so they could easily sell it to somebody.
Okay, that's great. So then your team will have the experience, but what about your team? How are they going to package that to show to somebody if they need to?
Well, we sit down, we have a sales team now, for the first time ever. We've realized that sales is now one of the most important parts of the company. And we switch a lot of the production members into sales members. So in understanding and creating. So let me give you some context. What I was studying is how to form the company into a more functional group. And I had to sit down and say, wait, Brendon, you're working hard, but you're not working smart. I needed to create a new organizational chart. And a new organizational chart where, yes, I'm at the helm, but at the same time, I have a lot of support around me because it can't be me alone. And in doing so, I created 4 divisions. Under they had 4 sets of people. And it became more functional for the first time after 19 years.
19 years.
Imagine that. And so, again, I realized that even as a company, because I am a first-generation businessman, my learning curve going to be different to other people. People will assume outright that, hey, that's something that you should have had a long time. It don't work like that. It's something that you keep on learning. As I keep on learning, I'm able to expand. So doing that org chart allowed me to be a lot more free to focus on the big things and also put the right team in place in certain areas where their skill set is. You know?
It seems that you've learned a whole ton of things by just doing stuff.
I'm feeling.
So that's what I was about to ask you. So I know you have a lot of private failures. Nobody sees. So what are you against sharing some of your failures publicly?
Of course, I don't have a problem sharing none.
Okay, so you're not against that?
No, none at all. I think when I was much younger, I think when I was like in UE, I got my girlfriend pregnant at the time. Right, and it was 20.
Right,
and
so your daughter.
Right, yeah.
Big girl.
Big woman. Yeah, and that was one of my lowest points because again, my father was living in Mexico. My mom wasn't happy with the situation. In those days, when I was younger, if a child come in anyway, you had to get married. And I wasn't ready for that. It was a very confusing time in my life.
And what I had to do is I actually had to, well, I didn't have to do it. My mom said, yo, you're not ready. And she told me to go to the States and work.
Yeah.
And I went to the States and work. Yeah. And while working across there, I was going to join the army. And my uncle said, you mad or you're not going to die for another country, big man. If you had to die, die for Trinidad. He said, go and finish your studies. Go and take care of your child.
Yeah.
She will be fine. You will be fine. This is a long-term plan. Like, don't see that the sacrifice that you're making will basically be in vain. However, you have to do it with a pure heart. And I said, okay, I trust the process. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I abandoned my situation for a year and a half. But looking now where employing my child, I buy a car for she, at the end of the day, I feel like if I really got a level of redemption for self, not for other people, where I can now provide and support and ensure that she have some lineage, she have some like inheritance because of the investment and sacrifice I've made over these years.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's talk a bit more about that whole idea of being a young man, right? You know, when we're young, we kind of strip it and we
we do
things, right? But what happened in your case is that you went on a path. This is like 20 how much years later, right? And now you come to a place where you've built a business, right? You've established yourself in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done things that nobody else has done.
No.
So it seems that the story has really, you call it redemption, but almost like it was a trajectory.
Right.
But at the time, you describe it as one of the lowest places that you've been, right? So what kind of thoughts and advice you give to some of the young men out there in particular? And I, you know, ladies, we love you, but let's talk about the young men for a second. Two guys.
They need more guidance than anything.
Right. What do you say for that? Even imagine some of the guys you went to school with, we went to school with.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of advice you'd give to some of those guys if they encounter a situation like that?
The thing is, you know, we when we were younger, they say that, and they keep on saying it, you know what I'm saying? They're saying, men don't cry, men do this, you're supposed to be a real man, and I agree to do a lot of these things. I mean, yes, cry when you have to, but try not to, because work has to be done. We are the ones, if we really man up and do what we're supposed to do, really could change our little situation. And a lot of times I feel sometimes men are too soft. They lie to themselves a lot. They don't step up their game. They say they're going to do certain things and they're not doing it. And I think that internal conversation and that feel is almost like a willingness to feel like, okay, well, I will exercise tomorrow and they're not doing it. You see, these simple lies, it just end up multiplying and becoming a downward spiral. I try my very best not to lie to myself. So when now I say, like, let's say I tell you I'm going to run UE later this evening. I'm going to run UE later this evening. Now, if it reaches 9 o'clock and I didn't do it at 9 o'clock, 9:15, I will get up and I will go and run. And so, you see, that type of conversation, internal that is, when it turned me into an animal boy. I am somebody who I trust. I trust myself because I say I go and do something and I'm doing it. And I think that's where the disconnect happens with a lot of people.
Yeah.
They will quicker do something for somebody else, but they won't take care of themselves. And I suppose that's where things have changed for me over the period. And that's the advice of our people. Just learn to try to stop lying to yourself. And once you do that, life will change.
Yeah. So there's two things about that. The first thing I would think, I would just kind of identify what you're saying now. It almost like you're talking about your internal integrity, right? Making sure that for yourself that you're consistent.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one part of it. The second part of it is that in your situation many years ago when, you know, you had this child on the way and I'm sure you were feeling overwhelmed.
All the time.
I'm sure you were feeling
stress.
Like what to do. You don't know what to do. You probably get up in the middle of the night and thinking about it, you know? And at the time, the options on the table were to stay, marry the girl, you know. Get married. Or bust out and fix myself.
Fix yourself.
Right.
And I give young people that advice. A lot of times, a child on the way or a baby changes your whole life and your perspective on life. It did for me. It allowed me to try and bog down and be a little more mature.
Yeah.
And don't feel that I became mature overnight. You're still
maturing.
Yeah. It's had a lot of years in which I was still catching myself. Yeah. But at the same time, it was about deciding for her as well as me what I wanted to do with this life that I was given, this blessing.
Yeah.
And I think that the opportunity, when it presented itself for me, just to do something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I like punking people. I like games. I am very playful by my very nature.
This we know.
From Belmont Day, I like to zombie people. If you like, I like to play pranks on people all the time. If I can, when I did my first event, when I see people having fun with things I had pre-planned and knowing that they would do this and have fun at it, I said, yo, this is the best thing that I would ever do in my life.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. But people don't realize that it's everything for us is already staged. But for them, when we see them doing it, it becomes so exciting.
Yeah.
It becomes like, I knew that. I like, got you.
Well, so really apply that. I
Got you there.
that.
Yeah.
Because when clients, like, let's say, for example, like when we were in ESCO the other day, and somebody say, we want them to connect. I say, I know what to do. I say, and when people leave, people say, yo, I feel so connected. That was so good. I meet this person, and that person's like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was quite deliberate. It was designed.
And it's designed that way, but not everybody could do it. And it has a science behind it. It has a lot of thought. And that's what I get to do with my company, and that's what I get to do with my life.
Right. It seems like a massive... I mean, this is such a refreshing thing to hear, you know, and obviously you had a lot of support.
Yeah, over the years.
You had tremendous support. So you didn't do it alone, which is important to say.
From the start, it was about a group of friends. I hired all my friends, and we used to listen to me. It was so cool. We would work, and then we would go on lime after, and I would pay them one time. So imagine my friends coming to lime we consider you and your friends liming on a weekend. Lime. And then one of your other friends say, hey, if we go to lime this weekend, you will get paid. I get paid? How much I get paid? You get a cool $200. Like, let's go. We work, we laugh, we get paid, and we lime again the following weekend. Within the formative years, like the first 3 years, that was the best ever. And then I realized I had to start buffing my friends. You can't reach late. You wear the wrong uniform. What is that? Why are you telling that person that? And I started to lose friends.
Yeah.
You're losing friends because you now started to manage the people them as your friend. You can't manage me.
Yeah.
You can't manage me. He's your friend.
That's actually in the book.
Yeah. So I had to switch it.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of friends. I can't manage friends and even some family. So I remember a time one of my cousins was supposed my cousin and his friend, they did who are now chefs, They back then they were in TTHI and they had to cook. And them cook up pilau that we were planning to serve. But the pilau was for sale. So after this is early. Man, them bring a Caucasian pilau was. They came pilau white. Like they run out of brown them big man. And when I see it, I say, Bolly, we can't sell that. You can't do that at the people event. And so these are the kind of things like, you know, when you work with family and that kind of stuff, all of this is things that just a lot of different experiences that you can bring to the table. And things that I feel that no young people or young producers, that kind of stuff, the steps that they should definitely skip or be aware of so that they can apply the necessary knowledge.
Yeah. So how do you deal with it, like when you stress? Because that Caucasian pilau probably at the time was stressful. How do you deal with that at the time?
Was back. I don't know. You're saying how I deal with stress on a whole?
No, not stress on a whole, but like when something like that comes up in the moment.
No, I remember once I was doing an MC job for Arthur Lockjaw Graduate School of Business. It was a game conference. And again, understanding, yes, I'm dyslexic. They asked me because, again, I understand games and that kind of stuff. But they brought a lot of speakers from all over the world.
Oh, my names.
Did not give me the script before, and I am trying to pronounce these names of people, and I am panicking. When I'm talking about worried, I'm really worried because I know I'm going to pronounce these names wrong. So I watch it, I try, I pronounce it wrong the first time. One of my friends came up to me, a girl named Taromi that I went to school with in Bahamas.
Right.
She was at the conference and she said to me, nobody's going to remember this tomorrow. Relax yourself, you'll be fine. And I've used that in moments and situations to guide how I think about things in the moment so that I could actually relax myself. Because a lot of times, the reality is when you're in the moment, realistically, nobody going to remember it tomorrow. Unless you create
a scene out of it, no one will remember.
Yeah.
And so that allows me to relax in the moment a lot.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's some good stuff. No one will remember it tomorrow. You drop some one-liners, eh? You know? you drop some one-liners.
Thanks to Romy.
To Ruby.
Yeah.
You know, she gave a little wisdom there.
Yeah.
And stuff. So talking about motivation, I know you used to do a series called Monday Motivation. Where am I to that?
Morning motivation.
Morning motivation.
Oh God, you put me under pressure there, boy. And people put me under pressure. I used to do it. It used to be real good. And I felt that it was something to do every morning. But what I needed to do, just like how I needed to do a batch shoot.
Yeah.
And there's post now. I need to do all, it would have been 20. All 20 in one. And there's post and repost.
Yes.
I run out of energy, boy. I run out. I was following certified Samson. He told me that he's posts every day now. I said, boy, I could post every day for 30 days. Between him and Gerald Best Mitchell, I was supposed to do it like, those are the people talking to me and telling me, boy, you gotta keep your content alive. It's run out of steam, you know.
Jared is a beast, though.
Yeah, he good. It's run out of steam because when you have, again, I run this company, it's about 50 people I employ monthly.
Yeah.
50 people have problems. 50 people calling for assistance. 50 people you had to tell what to do. Not everybody, but again, I manage the top and then it trickles down. But in that whole experience, sometimes it's hard. So unless I do a bad shoot, something like that not going to happen on a daily.
So have you made, you want to do it, right?
I'll go and do it.
Okay, great. So
I'll start back.
So what kind of plans you made? You make plans for that already, or you just
Nah.
Just hope, right now? Just
no,
hope?
I just like you talk about it is probably something I'll start back doing because what I did this weekend with hit refresh
Yes.
was a motivational talk.
Yeah.
And I realizing that I like them things.
You like it?
I like it. I like to tell people the truth.
Yeah.
I like to tell people stories about experiences because a lot of times people are so afraid of telling others their failures. And it's like everything in the closet and I have no, why are they hide?
Right.
I have nothing to hide anymore. So it is more like me just sharing with the world in order to help other people make their way within this journey of life. Because boss, that is the plan. The plan is to help people. Why are you here?
Yeah.
If not to help other people, why you keep everything for yourself? Not me.
Yeah. That actually is a really good segue. Let's talk a bit about the book because the book is really about helping people.
Uh-huh.
All right, so the book is called...
Let me, well, this is your copy, sir.
That's my copy.
This is your copy, right? Let me make sure it's there. This is your copy. And you got the whole package, right? The whole package includes, of course, the book. Right. Dun. And, of course, with the book, you need a bookmark.
What?
Yeah, a bookmark. Again, when you're reading the book, you should also drink a little cup of coffee or something. And then, because I want you to always remember that you have the book, I give a little keychain.
Oh, that's
a keychain. I'll use that. A keychain of a beach, similar to what is on the cup and the thing on the cup.
Let's talk about the cover now, or the book.
Oh.
Okay, wait. First, let me give this to Ian. Ian is a coffee drinker. He will drink in this cup. I love this cup though. Yeah, man. Ian will use this more than I would.
No problem. That's fair.
I don't drink calories.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I am. You see with me. People see me in Starbucks all the time. I feel I drink Starbucks all the time. I mean, even though I endorse the venue, I don't really drink all the unhealthy things. Out of the book, though, I feel like the book has some real good stories. At the end of each chapter, I put a local story or put a story.
Yeah, that's like in grey.
Yeah. I put a story, and I think I brought it home because that's what I tried to summarize the chapter with a story now.
Yes.
And what I realize is that even when I flip through foreign texts, when they tell their stories, it's very hard to relate.
Yes.
They speak of things that are not relevant to us.
Yeah.
And so what I've done with this text is try and make it so Caribbean focused, is that it becomes almost like a history lesson in one area, a current thought in another, and then a futuristic thinking of what we're going to do next.
Yeah.
Like when you think about the future part of it, it has a whole chapter on catering for different needs, from the differently able to persons with special dietary considerations and all of that from a Caribbean context.
Yeah.
You understand? With menus and food and how we relate to certain things. And I think that adds a different spectrum to the event landscape since you're not going to get a text like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't write it yet.
Yeah, they haven't written it yet, but you have written. And here's the thing I like about the book, right? Honestly, I haven't read all of it yet. I just started to read
Just
it.
fair.
I read some summaries and so on. So I know for a fact that the book has a lot of actual examples from your career,
Right.
right? And it does address in it as well very specific things in the Caribbean, because it's, of course, event planning
In the Caribbean.
in the Caribbean, right? So things like, I think you have a chapter on disability.
Yeah, I have disability.
Disability, all right? And of course, you talk about this over and over again about how we don't have parking in venues.
Right, yeah.
And things of all those different things. All right, so I know the genesis of the book. Like, just say, take it back to a couple of years ago. It was being called Planning Tips in the Caribbean, Planning Tips in the
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it
it was
could
going to be tips, event planning tips in the Caribbean.
Event Planning Tips in the
Yeah,
Caribbean.
yeah. And I was like, one day, I was like trying to put it together and say, I have to rename this book. And then I thought about, and I said, event planning in the Caribbean. And I said, what is a good name? And then I realized, wait, it just came to me, boof, Epic.
Yeah.
And Epic events is where everybody want their event to be epic. So it just roll off my tongue, and that's how I like it. Again, all the names that I've come up with has to roll off your tongue.
Yes.
And if it doesn't, it's not a good name.
It's not a good name.
Buzz concepts, easy. When people hear it's like, that event around a long time. Yes,
Yeah.
it rolls off, and that's why I like Pixel Plus. Events, companies like that I find. I have a company called Beverage Bay. Come on, it's the same thing.
Alliteration for so.
Yeah.
So, but you used to say that all the time. You would say epic, that word.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you would want to do that. So let's. So I like the book actually. When I saw it, I said, "Oh, this cover is
Nicer,
a nice cover.
pretty.
It's a pretty cover. Why this motif?
What it was about is that I had a lot of different options. My sister was very instrumental in helping me
Right.
create this book. And again, she was the one who was making sure that the wording was good, the spelling was good.
For the people who can't see it, and this might be the audio podcast, so the book is blue.
Right.
Has a lot of Caribbean colors on it. There's orange, green, and in the word epic itself, there
A sailboat, and some birds, some palm
sailboat,
trees.
some palm trees. The sunset or sunrise.
Yeah,
one
the
of two.
sunrise, yeah.
You know, and like a little colorful tent below.
Right.
And it actually says event planning in the Caribbean, how to plan, execute, and thrive in the Caribbean events industry. That's for those who can't see.
Right.
It's if you go on Amazon right now, you can see exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. The real so yeah, there's the artwork and that kind of stuff. Of course, we got a graphic artist involved to help produce that. And it was more along making it sure that I could feel comfortable. And people asked if I wanted to put my face on it and thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
like, should you put it? And I was like, nah, I don't want. You see, sometimes but people are so judgmental. You don't want to. I just wanted it to just be a book
Yeah.
for everybody. I didn't want it to be narrowed down to. And I don't want to be the superstar. I mean, I put my name on it, but I wanted it to be generic enough so that it could open doors versus the other way around.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all these things.
Because
It could close doors too.
and you said this a million times too, is like the gatekeepers, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so what has that been like dealing with other people and I might get in trouble here, other people in the events industry and having to navigate those relationships?
Man,
How have you done that?
remember I built my own table. At one time I was like, wait now, when they having their event this and event that, I not get no invites. I mean, I feel like being a lecturer from so long, like it should be at this event, it should be at that gallery, it should be invited to this. I say, what? And I really good to know. I say, I go and create my own, and that's what I've been doing. And it is where, let's say, for example, we've tried, I remember years ago, we tried, it was me, Lisa, Gani, Derek Lewis, a girl called Pepita Amarali. We were trying to create our local event association. Man, we worked hard at it. We had to get a certain quota of people to make sure, because it would have been internationally recognized.
Yeah.
Once we reached so close, and then we just fall apart. And I feel that is where the event like association would have changed a lot of the trajectory. Even some of the problems that we have now with good government and location and venues and that kind of thing. And
Right.
I don't want to go down that road in this podcast, but I think at association, now like the Trinidad and Tobago Promoters Association are fighting a battle, because the reality is yes, change is what has to happen on one realm for a large society thing. But again, change without consultation feels like domination and dictation. And you don't want anybody to be a dictator when you have a stake. So again, I think in my industry, again, people know me now. And I'm happy for it. And I like working with everybody. I have no issues with nobody in the industry. And that's a nice thing. I know everybody is everybody cool. And the closer that we are, is the better for all of us.
Yeah. It's the classic strength in numbers. And, more condensed we are, the more we're able to move things around. Yeah. All right, great. So, in the book there are about what? It's 12 case studies. How many case studies?
Probably about 12 case studies.
About 12
and they have a few questions at the end of chapters, almost like a textbook kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you could convert and again invest for people knowledge because it's a knowledge-based book.
Yeah.
So people could ask certain questions and check back to see if they understand.
Yes.
I think it adds a lot of value to even because there's no textbook as well in UE. If you go UE library, your event planning book for Link to the Caribbean is this book.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So that it makes complete sense. I mean, it fills a gap.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask about the case studies is like, what was the process to collect all that data? Because I know you could have things all over the place.
Right.
And you have stories in your head. But then in order for it to make sense of the book, you have to pull those things together, sequence it, how did you go about collecting all that data and making it make sense?
What happened is because I wrote this book since COVID, I was writing, I documented initially. I used to have event planning tips on a morning. So I used to do it on my phone. And I used to say, hey, look at tip. And I used to do a video. I remember once we were in La Soledad in Maracas, St. Joseph. And this man, we trying to talk, a Waka man right next to we now. And he cutting his grass and he hearing us talk. And he said, we saying how loud the music should be. Because the music could be a little lower than this because it was a cocktail reception. And he came up to us and he said, anytime Molly had a shout, the music too loud. So that's how you should probably do it in your song check now. And he walked off. And it was like, but that's the truth. And a lot of times that's the challenge that even sound engineers have. Sometimes they want to hear themselves, but they'll realize that if the nature of the event at this time should be a talk, make sure that you don't have to shout, make sure people don't have to elevate their voices. And so when they want to party, turn it up so that they can stop talk.
Yes.
You understand? And so that becomes a Caribbean person insight and a tip that could be added to the experience where it's easy for you to remember.
Yeah.
You know, versus saying the decibels should be for a cocktail reception to be a little confusing because you're not walking with a decibel reader.
Right.
You understand?
Nobody's doing that. Yeah.
So you make it very practical and logical.
Yeah. But what I've noted that you said there is that you almost like you're tying a story into some practical implementation.
Yeah. So I'll tell you where the source came from.
Yeah, you tell me what the story. You tell me what the Waka guy.
Yeah.
You don't know the man name. The man is up, he drop a gem. You know?
He drop a nugget and he bust out.
And he bust out, right? So Waka man, much respect to the Waka man, right?
Yeah, real cool.
But the thing about that is it seems as if that you are in the process of discovery because you're a doer. The process of doing the thing is like, oh shucks, why didn't I think of this before? You know, why didn't I think to do this before?
I think, people might say, I think because I learn slower than other people. I feel that I do. But I
don't think that's true, but go ahead.
But I pick up, meaning that when I do things, when you do, like a man will come and lay tiles, right? I remember during COVID when I was under pressure, I got a guy to come and lay tiles. I watched what he did. I see him put the spacers, I see him do the thing. I say, man, I could do that. I see him measure. The first time I break a rail tiles, I do a rail strip with this. But the second time it was much better. The third time was much better. Yeah. So what happened over time is that I realized that if you show me once, show me twice, and I go, it's done. I go and be able to do that. Because I tell myself I could.
Yeah.
I shade myself up. So it had nothing that I can do.
Right.
Yeah. And so I've used that as a skill to apply.
All right. That's good. That's excellent. I think that it really shows inside of the density of the book you've written.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You've taken the time to do all this. And a business to stick around for 20 years by chance.
No.
No,
I wanted to quit every day. Every other day.
Every other day. Some days was good.
Some days good. Every other day it's like, I get fed up with this, It's hard. Because it's hard.
It is.
Hard. business being on the next level of business is so hard.
Yeah.
People don't realize that you have to become fanatic and almost like almost like a kind of delusional in order to be in business, because you have to believe that you're gonna make money next month.
Yeah.
I believe.
With little evidence to say so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. It's real. It's real. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I can relate to that. Like, shucks, expenses.
Yeah.
You know,
And then you get a call, and then you get a random call, and it's like, pop, 5 events. It's like, yeah, this is what I was working for.
Yeah. Your name good out there, reputation.
Exactly.
You know?
The most important thing.
Yeah, could be. All right, so we're gonna come in for the ending here, but I want to ask you a big question. So the question I want to ask is about. So we talk about the history of your company. We talk about this. You've been around. Next year, May 20th will be 20 years, right? And that is something that is significant. Like having built this business for 20 years. And we did talk about the fact that initially, on social media, it was like you do lockjack event, then magic miss, then so and so, like dominoes rolling down the line, right? From 5 events to 7 events to 50 events to 100 events a year,
Right.
All that drama. If you had to do this all over again, with no word of mouth, you couldn't talk to anybody, but you only had to use social media and content, what kind of content you would immediately begin to make?
I think we would, because we didn't get to capture a lot of the things from the start. I've realized that, like how dancing videos became a big thing in TikTok. I think the games videos, if we actually capture the games and execution and post those up from all those years, the funny things, and we'd have millions of followers already. Because back then, you could have taken a lot more risk. I remember once we used to do games like a wobbler, where you spin around a pole and you run, you drink rum and spin around and run. We used to do that. We can't do it anymore because our insurance agent says that's like public liability thing and we can't do it, right? So we don't do it because we don't want to lose money. But we used to do those kind of risky events where you could do events and not have to worry about it because you're so naive.
Right. Listen.
People underestimate how naivety will make it creative and do things, and that's. But then we used to do stuff
Like, oh shucks, we're looking back 20 years later, it's like, oh, we really shouldn't have done that. Trespassing people places.
I'm
going to say that publicly.
Naive.
Yeah.
We were so naive that we did things that would be now viral and even showing it.
Yeah.
Because if somebody, for example, almost injured themselves at an event and you show that, they have no evidence to come back and take you to court.
Yeah.
So I'm saying maybe back then we'd have done a lot more of those.
Yeah.
And again, I think I would have been able to tell people the story more, because what people want is people actually now want to follow journeys.
Yes.
They want to follow the story to see where it's going next. Yes. And what, again, a lot of times the rags to riches tend to be the type of story that goes well. Like the same movie scene where you start off poor and then you achieve something level and you get a setback. People like them. That's the most movies go. People want to be part of that movie and see themselves in it. Now, we've had so much people that pass through this company. I'm sure we into the 500s of people that work this company over the years. And I think I would want to tell the story of each and every one of them. As they came and they left and what they did and how they contributed, because it's such a gem.
Yeah.
That's an experience in itself too.
Yeah.
That's the kind of content I would create.
That's beautiful. That's excellent. Tell the people where they can find you online and where they should go looking for you, man.
Well, it's Buzz Concepts on Instagram. We're on it's buzzconceptscaribbean.com on the web. My contact is big _ B Buzz. I think that's it.
That's it.
Big _ B Buzz, making sure I said it right this time. And we also, again, you can reach us at the office. The office is 231 Buzz.
Right.
2899 231 Buzz.
Yeah.
Again, we're located in Trinidad, but we also operate within the Caribbean region. Call us, you'll see us, we'll show up. But we have our office in Guyana as well. And we established an office back in Barbados. Because we've had a little thing with Barbados where we're going back there to establish. We are doing major events. a marathon for Carnival. We're doing a mini marathon for Carnival, as well as Carnival Wednesday. We're going to be throwing our own party. And end the year, we probably will just do a little small thing, but we're trying to enter the Carnival market as a promoter as well.
Right.
Exciting stuff.
Right. You know what? One last thing I want to ask you about here. So I remember when you mentioned earlier on that you used to do sales, right? It was like door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
And ADT.
Yeah.
He's door-to-door sales ADT, which means you would have gotten like a 1 million no's.
Right, yeah.
Obviously, right? That's salespeople just have a hard time with that.
Right.
I never had to do that, and personally, I don't think I could endure that.
The level of brace.
The level of brace, especially in not in my own country. You know, if it's a Trini, you can get them back Trini, but you know, you have to be nice to the people who you're going to. So, and I know that you've reframed no as a tool.
Yeah. Yes.
To create a different mindset. So, how does that help you when you are pitching buzz to like new major clients?
What I've done is, because I know we add value.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that clients need us. So I'm confident enough that if they engage with us and get to work with the team, it will make their life easier. Yeah. So I'm very confident, even that they say no the first time, that the second or third time when we actually work with us, they realize that it's a good quality service that they'll be getting.
Yeah.
I will ensure and deliver. I mean, again, you know, we could say have a money back guarantee.
Yeah.
I feel we have that ability to do that now, where if we underperform, we can give you your money back. I mean, once you pay for the... pay for the perishable, the ice and the this and the that.
Yeah.
Because how it is that we're not dropping the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not allowing the team to, and they're not allowing themselves to. We are going to produce quality events no matter what. And when you say no, it's almost like me saying to you, okay, you don't know yet, I'll show you. And so that's why the content that we create, like in instances like these, is relevant for people to see, so that they'll know who they're buying and who they're buying from and who is going to be their service provider. Because we're not going to lapse. We're not going to... Listen to me, we have no choice, you know. Remember, this is plan A. There's no plan B, C, D, E, F, G. This is plan A. We're going to be successful. We're going to be the best that we could be for you. And we're going to continue doing that forever.
I believe you. I mean, if I didn't believe it before.
Yeah.
Vote Brendon.
Then I'm done. Yeah?
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, boy.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Man.
It's a blessing to have you here at my office today.
Yeah,
and again, this has been an experience. And we were planning for a little while, but I'm glad we made it happen.
For a while, in the middle of the... we met years ago.
Yeah.
We could exchange contact. It disappeared off my radar for a while. I messaging Brendon can know where to be found. And then
I hear
you pop up, right?
I hear.
Thank God for Jared. Jared, as a man, was put you in his content, he in your content. So I said, the man alive. I said,
I did.
It is there. So this is a long time coming and it's good.
Blessings, boy. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, man.
And for you and your team too.
Yeah. Everybody.
Big up everybody who made it out here today to make it a success.
Nick and I in there as faithful as they are, you know? So good stuff. All right, we good?
Good. Wrap it up.
Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this episode of Useful Creator. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me. If you enjoyed today's conversation, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. You can find the link in the show notes. And while you're here, check out any of the other resources or links that we mentioned in this episode. And if you'd like to go deeper and find out more about how you can create useful content, you can subscribe to my newsletter at jumabannister.com, where I share more insights, strategies, and stories to help you become a more confident, consistent, skillful video creator.
The Useful Creator podcast is a Relate production.